Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to the live stream. It's on Friday. I know it's a little weird. Typically, we do Saturdays, but we're here on a Friday. My schedule got a little flip-flopped. A lot of things have been moving and happening over the past week or so, and just made more sense for me to do it today. So, whether you're here live, if you are, then welcome. Let me know down in the comments where you're coming from and what you're wearing, if anything, in terms of fragrances. And if you're here after the fact watching the replay, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see, and I hope you can make the next live stream live. Let me get some water real quick. So, as we typically like to do in these live streams, for the first 10 minutes, I just want to acknowledge you, those of you guys in the live chat. Again, go ahead and sound off. Let me know that you're here. Let me know, again, where you're coming from. And if you have any burning questions, I'll happily take some questions over these first 10 minutes or so. Let's see here. Who is in the house? Kareem, welcome. Yes, thanks for being here. Glad you can make it live. Coming from Lakeland. Good to see you, Kevin. What's up? D Da Vinci. How you doing? Shorts and a hat. All right, man. No shirt. Gotta love it. Christopher. Good to see you, Aromatics. Renaissance. Good stuff, man. Love it. I still need to try God of Fire. Still need to try it. It's good to see you, Sarah. Thanks for being here. David. Always good to see you. Fahrenheit Parfum. Love it. Updates on Instagram. No updates on Instagram. I've issued several appeals. They've been denied. I issued another one earlier this week. I've heard nothing back yet, and I'm going to try to issue another one. I've heard that there are several people who were in the same situation as me who have recently got their accounts back. So I'm trying to do that. So I'm going to keep trying. We'll see. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, go back and watch the first 10 minutes of last week's live stream, and I explained everything in that video. Jim Little, the Enigma Parfum, good stuff, man, classy. Kareem is coming at us from 30,000 feet in the air, man. Kareem has places to be, and smelling great too. Gentle fluidity silver. I'm happy you like it. Enrique from Texas, Eau Givre. Man, that's perfect for the heat. I'm sure it's hot down there, so hope it's serving you well. Hey, Wayne, always good to see you. Wearing a classic Le Male today. Lloyd from Mississippi, down by the Yuzu. Haven't smelled that. Good stuff, man. Will Rod is here. When Ralph's Club Elixir, still have to try it. Hey, Phoenix. Layering. Man, all that layering. All right. I'm sure it smells great. I'm not the craziest layerer, but I know it works for a lot of people. So do your thing. Let's see. Greetings from Western New York. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I assume that's what it is. Either way, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Good stuff. Don't be scared to post cologne. Yeah, I hear you, man. I would just don't post clones. Stay away from clones. You should be safe. I think that's what did it. I tried Musque Ravageur years ago. I need to revisit it. I've wanted to truly get to know it for years now, and I've just only kind of sampled it one time, so need to do my due diligence. Michigan, Town and Country. Andrea, good to see you. Town and Country. I don't know that one. Have to check it out, but thanks for being here. Let's see. Have I Well, I know what you mean, tested, but right now that word looks like another word that we're not going to acknowledge because we're very mature adults here. Lord Milano fragrances. I don't know Lord Milano. I know Masque Milano, but not Lord Milano. All right. Keith, good to see you, man. I have that one sitting somewhere. Real easy wear. Sir Siage, always good to see you. I still need to spend some more time with this brand. They're just so freaking expensive. That sounds like an awesome combination. Again, I'm not a big layerer, but if it comes as one package, that sounds cool. I want to try that. Hans from LA wearing Reflection 45. All right. Is it hot down there? Heard it was pretty warm in LA right now, but I haven't looked. Finger Lakes region to Buffalo. Okay, so I was kind of right. But thank you for the clarification, sir. When am I going to do osmanthus and or eucalyptus? I know you asked about osmanthus. I still need to go through my collection and see if I have enough fragrances for content like that. If I have like 5, I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. I want to keep things consistent. I need at least 9 to keep things the way I want them to be. So I'll take a close look. I do have other notes on the docket that I'm looking at right now. Ginger, I'm looking at salt, but I'll definitely throw osmanthus in there. I don't think I have enough eucalyptus fragrances to warrant a video, but I haven't looked, so I'll have to take a look here. Justin McDonald wearing Winter Palace. Good stuff. Great to see you. Yeah, I need to try French Lover. I've tried a few from Frederic Malle. I've tried Music for a while. I have tried Musc Ravageur. I've tried Geranium Pour Monsieur. And I think I've tried Vetiver Extraordinaire. I did enjoy basically all of them from what I remember. Have I been rocking Ingenious Ginger? I've worn it here and there, but honestly, Grace has been wearing the heck out of it. In fact, she's worn it every single day for like 10 days now. She is going to burn through that bottle. Mr. Veteran Vlogs, I did not know you were in Dubai. I had no idea. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, look, it's TLTG Reviews. What's up, Ross? Joshua, I do not have my Instagram back. Still in the balance. Thanks. Appreciate that. Yes, I think I have some good ones. So I'll have to see what I can put together for those topics. Timbuktu. That is a unique masterpiece of a fragrance, truly. Plymouth. Fico, love it. 72. Okay, so it did cool down. Then that's perfect. That is perfect weather. Kid Cool, thank you so much for the super chat. What are your thoughts on the note breakdown of the upcoming Creed Aventus Absolute as well as the new PDM? Great question. I haven't looked super closely at the new PDM, and I just saw Mr. Smelly's video yesterday, I think, about the new Aventus. I'm going to look up the new PDM right now. Can I find it? There it is. Altair. If you guys didn't hear about this, this is what's coming. Their newest release for men. I assume it'll come very soon. It probably will be more appropriate for the fall and winter, so it is a great time to release it in the late summer. Looks like it's going to primarily be a vanilla fragrance, maybe a gourmand. I see some spices, and They have bourbon vanilla at the heart here. Have people already tried this? I see there's already votes. Yeah, people are just okay, as usual. No one's actually tried it yet. Praline, Guidewood. I mean, I'm interested. I have a feeling it could be a little bit basic-ish, but hopefully not. I love these perfumers, Hamid Marathi Kashani, as well as Ilyas Ermenidis. I never know how to say his last name. Both of them are great. So we'll see. The new Creed, I don't think that's on Fragrantica yet. Oh, it is. There it is with this crappy little. Hopefully that we get a better image of the bottle, because that resolution just looks sad and iffy, but I'm sure it's real. It just looks super lazy, but hopefully you've seen the whole thing. So looking at these notes, I know we're past the 10-minute mark, guys. I'm going to hop into the video here in just a second. Yeah, they say, I think it's supposed to be kind of a richer, deeper version, but also not exactly just that. So I'm interested. I am interested in it. I don't love the name. I think the name is, it's just kind of uninspiring, but I want to smell it. So we'll see about it. Okay. Thank you guys all for joining me here. We're going to get started. Today's topic is all about affordable niche fragrances. We did do a long form video on my YouTube channel on this topic about a month ago. And I think a lot of you really enjoyed that and appreciated that. And that's why I'm back doing a live version rather than just refilming a second part to that video. I figured, why not do it live? I think we did maybe 10 fragrances in that first video. Today, we're only doing 8, just to keep things kind of tidy. 2 fragrances can actually make quite a difference in a video. So the criteria here is that we're looking at fragrances that are $150 or less. The reason why I chose that number is oftentimes there's a lot of mainstream designer releases, especially from some of the larger houses like Chanel and Dior in particular, who, again, they're designer houses, and you're going to find their fragrances for that price or more. So for those who are concerned about niche fragrances being way more expensive than designers, a lot of these fragrances are going to kind of bleed into the same margin. Some of them will be comparable to some designer prices. Some of them will be lower than a lot of designer prices. And it's just a testament to the fact that you don't have to pay a ton of money to get a unique and special smelling fragrance. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. My biggest caveat I can give you guys is, if you can avoid it, even though these are not the most expensive fragrances, see if you can avoid blind buying full bottles. If you can get a sample, get a sample. I've linked to what I could find down below. I don't think I found a ton of samples, but I think there's some. I don't remember exactly what's in the description, but you can check for yourself. Nonetheless, so lunch money these days, basically. Yes. Okay. Oh, the anomaly. Thank you so much for the super chat. I am well. How are you, my friend? Thank you very much for the support. That means a whole lot. If you guys didn't know, I am still on Instagram under my music page, Justin Copeland Music. So you can kind of follow me there. I'm not as active there in terms of daily content, but there's a lot there. I've had that page for even longer than my fragrance page. So a lot of my actual daily life is going on there, at least in terms of music. Okay, these are in no particular order. The first fragrance up is from a brand called Nobile 1942. They have a little bit of talk here and there on YouTube, but not much. And most people will speak about a fragrance that they have. I think they call it, I can never quite pronounce it, Danza. Hold on, let me look this up. Danza del Libellule. No, I did my best. But that's, anyway, this is the fragrance that most people will talk about. This is a lovely scent. This is like this sweet, kind of vanillic, delicious smelling fragrance. It's really, really good from my memory. I remember being very surprised by it, but I don't have it. The one we're talking about, that's right, Sarah, Dance of the Dragonflies. It's a great name. This one is PonteVecchio. And this fragrance was created in homage to the PonteVecchio, which is a bridge that crosses, I believe, the Arno River in Florence. It is a medieval bridge. It's been there for a very long time, and it is, at least it was, kind of a place of commerce, and just, goods exchange, as far as I understand. Today, I don't know. Maybe it's something similar to that today. I'm sure there are still vendors and things like that. It's still standing. You can still cross it, but I haven't seen the bridge myself. So I'll have to visit someday. But, yeah, I can't really say it reminds me of a medieval bridge in Italy, but it's a beautiful scent. This is primarily geranium and iris with woody vetiver. It's quite fresh, almost a little bit minty. Definitely a little bit floral, not too powdery, thankfully. And there is a touch of sweetness in there. I can't remember if it's from a fruit or if it's from perhaps the geranium, bringing a bit of a sweetness. And the woody vetiver is a nice kind of dry element to it. Smells different, but super wearable, can be actually pretty versatile. Honestly, I think this one is marketed to men. They do have a women's version. It has a little W on the label, but I haven't tried that one. So maybe I'll check that one out sometime. But this fragrance, let me pull up my notes here because I have kind of the pricing of all the fragrances. So I was finding PonteVecchio for between like 120, 150 online. That's for a full bottle. And this is, I think, 50. 75. This is a 75 milliliter bottle. But again, sample first if you can. Great stuff. This is a great spring, summer kind of daily wear fragrance that is a little different. It does smell definitely a little masculine, a little bit sophisticated, but again, easy to wear, and kind of easy going. Let me know if any of you guys have tried that one. Jason, I really appreciate the support. Yeah, guys, if you're here and you're watching, might as well click the button. Cost nothing. No cost. Maybe a calorie at the most. Okay, next one up. I haven't talked about this one in some time. And this is a great one also for summer and spring. Probably one of the most affordable niche brands out there, especially on the discounters. It's kind of absurd how cheaply you can get these fragrances. Like literally, you can find a full bottle. This is 75 milliliters for like $40, sometimes less. It's crazy. So anyway, from Molinard, this is Figue. Have any of you guys tried this one? I am a big Fig fan. I've been planning to do a Fig video, but I don't quite have as many fragrances as I need. I think I'm like one short, so I might need to look into a new Fig and put that video together. This is so nice, guys. So Fig is a fruit. It does convey a bit of a tropical feel, but not, more in the sense of like the Mediterranean. It's not really tropical at all. I get like the Mediterranean Sea. I get fruit trees. I get green leaves and woods. I get fresh air. It's beautiful. It's pretty light, but I think it's a perfect personality to wear on a warm day out. Not really something I would reach for at night when I want to, be alluring or seductive or sexy or anything. No, this is daytime for me. This is casual. This is, just enjoy it for 4 or 5 hours. It's probably gone after that. It's great. Realistic, authentic, beautiful, interesting, but easy to wear. That's Figue from Molinard. Let me know if you guys have tried that. Oh, I see some questions about it. Sir Siage is asking, would you say it's somewhat redundant if you own Fico? Not really. Honestly, I would say, if anything, it's closer to Philosicos from Diptyque. It's a little bit closer to that. To me, I have Fico right here. Fico is a little bit more citrus fruit forward. This is more of a juicy, like freshly cut kind of grapefruit, lemon, fig vibe with a little bit of like spice backing it up. And to me, I get a bit of a watery feel. Whereas Figue is more of like you almost get the tree. You get more woodiness. You get a little bit more of a green quality in there. I don't know what is in something was stuck underneath the atomizer. Yeah, so honestly, I don't think they're redundant. That's just me though. They're not like completely different. They are based on Fig, but they are different personalities on the Fig. Put that back. All right. Let's keep it moving. This next one is from an indie brand based up in Canada. Making sure I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, based up in Canada, known as Untamed Perfumes. I've talked about them here and there. Beautiful fragrances. You can usually find them. I think a full bottle is going to be about $130, but they do have smaller sizes. They have travel sizes that are about maybe $50, something like that. So, and they also have a discovery set, which I know I linked down below. From Untamed Perfumes, I am talking about Blackbird in this video. I'll be honest with you guys. This is a beautiful fragrance that I haven't really worn yet. I think I've tested it on my skin once or twice, but haven't given it a full wearing. But it is one that intrigues me. It's something I'm going to save for the fall, and I will be getting to know it better when it cools down a bit. But the way I can try to describe this without knowing the notes, because I don't know the scent all that well, it is such a blend. It's kind of hard to dissect. I get this sweet, warm, almost fruitiness wrapped up in a slightly smoky wood, like a birch wood feel, but very, very soft. Almost a chocolatey quality. Not like a cacao, but almost like a patchouli chocolatey feel. But it's so just congealed. It is really tough to dissect it. If you're looking for some very interesting blends, and I cannot stress that word enough, these are blends. This is not like a plate where you can see all of the ingredients laid out. It is just, this is a pudding. It's all mixed in. It all works together. Very interesting, but beautiful, not really challenging in any way. But I do think it could be a hate it or love it thing because it takes time to kind of understand what you're smelling. It's not, oh, yes, there's that grapefruit in the woods. And it's not like your typical fragrance. So check them out. Again, link down below. There is a discovery set. I'm not getting any kickbacks or anything, just trying to help out a great brand. And they sent me that, and they sent me a few others in the past. John Easley, thank you so much for the super chat. Second bottle. All right. That's a fan. That's a true fan. Okay. Let's keep it going here. On to the fourth fragrance, almost halfway. I have talked about this from time to time. I think it's been a little while because this is not a fragrance I'm wearing right now. This is not a summer fragrance. It could be a summer night scent, but I've been kind of gravitating towards some newer scents in my collection. So I had to pull this out to give it the love it deserves, and I do recommend you get your nose on it before the upcoming fall season. I would say it's maybe a little bit masculine, but not overtly, and you be the judge. From Caron. I think I did okay saying that. Maybe a little bit too harsh on the consonants. This is called Aimez-Moi Comme je suis, which means love me as I am. This is one of those fragrances that is both simple but unique. There's not a whole lot going on here. I get, it's like a warm nuttiness, maybe like a chestnut or something, with this very slight earthy tobacco and this dry, bitter, woody vetiver. But not overly bitter. There is a smoothness here. There's something kind of almost making it creamy, but very slightly balancing out the dryness of the woods. It is such a refined profile. It's very subtle. It's very sophisticated. This is not one that screams, because I do think that sophistication does not have to tell you that it's sophisticated. You just know it. If you happen to have the attention and the observation to notice it, you will notice it. Lovely. It doesn't change a whole lot on my skin. It wears very classy. I like to wear this day or night, really, especially in the fall. It's not terribly heavy, as I said, so a little bit of warmth will do it well, which is why I think it does well at summer nights as well. But the profile itself, the identity, the personality of the scent is just kind of warm and comforting while being gentlemanly. And I think it just suits a fall day. So I'll be talking about that one again more as we move into the autumn. Christopher says he has it in his fall bin. Yeah, I think it can be unisex. It can be, because I think it's of its softness and its balance. It does really well for anyone who enjoys the scent. David is asking about Latafa. David, I am not the biggest clone fan. I prefer the original as much as I can get it. And yeah, I have yet. There's only a few, and I'm talking about 2 or 3 clones, and I've tried hundreds. 2 or 3 clones that I've tried that are either suitable substitutes for the original or better. And that is a subjective opinion, of course. But generally, they're a miss for me. I'm not always looking for the cheapest thing I can buy. Let me get this Parfum de Marly Leighton clone for $6. Like, you kind of get what you pay for at a certain point. So I'm not the biggest clone fan. I know that there's a big market for them because of their affordability, but it's just not something I talk about a ton on my channel. And honestly, it is most likely one of the reasons why my Instagram page got shut down. So I am a little salty about that too. Anyway, we're going to keep it moving. Next one up. This is a very odd fragrance. Did I say? Oh, I didn't say the price on Aimez-Moi Comme je suis. I'm finding this around, I think, 70 to $100, and this is a 125 milliliter bottle. So I think that's a pretty decent price. Dropped my blotter for that. Okay, this next one up. This fragrance, guys, is so different. This is a very different take on one of my favorite genres from Masque Milano, which I mentioned earlier. This is Sleight of Fern. It's kind of like sleight of hand. And the Fern aspect, as some of you could probably deduce, is in relation to the fougere. Fougere is French for fern. The fougere genre was created to kind of resemble the fantasy aroma of fern, but with a lot more depth. And this is a very different take on that. I'm just smelling it in the air right now. This is a pretty diffusive scent. I can smell it very well. Oh, man. It's odd. This is one that I don't think all of you are going to love. Even if you're a Fougere fan, it is an off the beaten path. This is a detour type of Fougere. It is aromatic. It's fresh, yes. There is a nice woody and mossy element to it. There is, I mean, that's mostly kind of, yeah, maybe some spices, not really. But what sets this apart is a tree resin known, or I don't know if it's a tree resin. No, I mean, resins come from trees. It's called mastic resin. And mastic resin is known to be a little bit medicinal, and there's a lot of it in here. If you have smelled turpentine, which I don't have really any experience with outside of smelling once or twice, then this may remind you of that. And if that is a part of your childhood, then you may hate this fragrance, especially if you have a bad association with turpentine. But this is so unique, guys. It is such a unique take on the genre. There is a little bit of fig in here too. When you first spray it, a touch of this almost honeyed, fruity sweetness, but it's swallowed up by this medicinal, fresh, resinous feel, backed up by woods and moss. It's different. As a result, I would say it's a very classy scent. This is a fragrance that I would kind of be afraid to wear if I'm not dressed up. I always say you have a better shot of pulling off fragrances that you love but might be a little bit hesitant about in terms of what others will think. You have a better shot of pulling those off the more you dress up. The higher you class yourself in your image, the more it will complement what you have on. And also, don't overspray. If you don't overspray this, because again, it's pretty strong, then you smell confident. You smell intentional, but you want to make sure you love it. So sample it first. Again, you might not love it. I'm warning you, but I think it's really interesting. Really, really good. Ormond Jane is good stuff. I have more. I'll be talking about them more pretty soon. Pranav says he loves Sleight of Fern. That's a good one. Jean Rivera, good to see you. Thanks for coming in from Puerto Rico. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything massive here. Okay. I still need to try the Intensivo. I heard it was great, but the original is beautiful, and I have the Verano, which is lovely. Okay, moving on. We have three more. I'm trying to decide what I want to do last. Okay, I'm going to do this one next. This is one of my favorites from this house. It is one of my most worn from this house, easily. And on the surface, we have another Fougere here. On the surface, it is a Fougere, but as you wear it, and if you do happen to smell it up close and dissect it, you'll notice there's something strange about this. But I do think it's more wearable and more approachable. I'll say more approachable than Sleight of Fern, not more wearable. Because anything is wearable, it's all relative to the wearer. We're talking about B612 from Nishane. Did I forget to? I sure did. I've been falling on my pricings. Sleight of Fern I've seen for $150 on the money for a full bottle. That is a little pricey because you only do get, I think it's 35 milliliters, but sample it first. MaxAroma has it. I've linked them down below. I think they do offer samples, so you don't have to buy the full bottle. Try that one out in a sample form. And I do not recommend smelling it up close at first spray. You have been warned. But B612, for me, this was love at first sniff. Surprisingly, this has been a little polarizing. I've seen others make comments on my videos saying, I don't know how I could wear this. I don't know where to wear this fragrance. It's so weird. And I'm like, it's so weird. It just smells like clean and woody and aromatic, a little soapy, but I see what people mean. There is an odd element here especially if you smell it up close and then you make your assessment on how am I going to wear this. You kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Again, this is not how you are going to experience it when you're wearing it. So do yourself a service and just allow yourself to smell it around you when you test it. I see people already talking about it. Will Baker says cashmerean that overpowered the rest of the fragrance. I totally get that. And that is the odd element in addition to the cypress. I think the cypress is a very sharp and distinctive woody element that not everyone's going to love. It's not quite as not quite as grounding of a woody presence as like cedar wood or sandalwood. It is kind of an upfront woodiness, kind of like birch. Birch wood can really grab attention, similar to cypress. But cashmerean is a synthetic ingredient. It is intended to add this kind of warm and fuzzy feeling, for lack of a better term. And it is quite apparent here in the heart of the scent. It is what gives it its a personality. It's what sets it apart from other fougères. It is clean and lavender heavy. It is, woody, but there's no real spicy element here. And that cashmerean adds a texture to the scent that can be overwhelming when smelled up close. But I love it in the air around me. There's a touch of a creamy sweetness, very, very subtle, maybe not as much as your typical fougère, that can be reminiscent of that barbershop feel. And I love that about it. That's what makes it barbershop for me. But it is different. It's one that not everyone's going to dig as far as the genre goes. Just checking your comments here. Have I worn Ganymede in the summer heat? Ganymede is not typically a fragrance I will wear on the hottest days simply because of how strong it is. Honestly, it becomes overpowering if I wear, even a moderate amount as I normally would on a regular day. When it's hot, I'd rather wear other stuff. So I'll save it for the evening time, or I'll save it for a milder day. But if you're going to wear it, I would say, maybe 2 sprays on a hot day. You don't need much more than that because it sticks around forever, especially if you're going to be outside most of the day. You can probably get away with 3 if you'll be outside most of the day. All right, 2 more fragrances. This is one that I don't see anyone talking about this brand. And I understand why, because they're, a small indie brand. They're not out here sending bottles to reviewers. This was actually sent to me by a friend, a good friend of mine who has sent me several fragrances over the past few years. He was a member of my Patreon for quite a while I was active. And he just has introduced me to some amazing fragrances, Ganymede being one of them. And he introduced this one to me. And then I got their discovery set because I love this fragrance so much. I'm like, I need to check out more of these. And there's a few others I still want to get. This is from another Canadian-based indie house. I think they're in Montreal. And they are called Monsillage. This is called Aviation Club. I've talked about it here and there. Man, this is easy to wear, but it's so unique. Oh my gosh, you guys have to get your nose on this fragrance and on the house in general. They have a wonderful discovery set. What this smells like, this is, it's a green metallic tobacco. If you can imagine that, a fresh green metallic tobacco with a little bit of warm coffee and a touch of booziness, like a whiskey, that adds a little bit of sweetness, but it's round, it's a little fresh and quite green, a little bit sharp, but still not too strong. The metallic nature adds a little bit of a sharp kind of mineral feel. It's such a unique tobacco. I have not smelled a tobacco quite like this. Please try this house. Monsillage, we need more people talking about Monsillage. They have another fragrance that is an amber-based scent. I think they call it Oiseau. Let me look it up real quick because I have been meaning to get myself. Yeah, they call it Oiseau. I don't know what the heck that means, but it's a beautiful amber scent. Oh, it's so good. I remember it really surprised me. Just so you can see, this is the note breakdown of Oiseau. It's rich, but very, very wearable. Lovely stuff. Have any of you guys tried them? Aviation Club was a hype beast long time ago. Thanks, Christopher. Let's keep it moving. We have one more fragrance. This is from Andros Parfum. If you guys are familiar with Sammy Andros, he is a fellow reviewer here on YouTube and a big channel, big presence, very, very popular reviews and very authentic reviews. And he has sent me, he has a perfume brand he started a couple years ago. This is his second fragrance that he has come out with. His first one was called Heavenly Place. And I have it, and it's such a unique scent. And I haven't talked about it a ton because I haven't really been drawn to wear it. It is a little bit of a head scratcher when I experience it. And as a result of that, I'm never called to functionally just wear it out into the world. I need to test it more and kind of wrap my mind around it because I'm not going to wear a fragrance unless I feel confident about it, unless I absolutely love it. I'm not going to wear it out into the world because I'm wearing it for me. And if I'm not like really grounded in my experience with it, then I'm just going to walk around hunched over and, not looking people in the eye and wondering, can they smell it? Is it too strong? I don't want to deal with that. I need to be 100%. Anyway, this is his latest fragrance. I believe it is still on pre-sale. So it's available to buy. I don't know if it's shipping yet, but right now they do have a special deal for pre-sale. I think you can get it for $120. When it is officially launched, I think it'll go for $130. So, you can get in on that special deal. And this is called Wonder Dream. This is the newest from Andros. I looked at the note breakdown, and this was not what I expected to smell after looking at that breakdown. I'm going to read the notes to you first, and then I'll describe what I'm smelling. Top notes are bergamot, mandarin, cardamom, black pepper, and lemon. Seems like a pretty bright, citrusy opening with maybe a little bit of darkness in there. Or not darkness, but just some edge. Heart notes of birch, pine, clary sage, and lavender. Base notes of amber and patchouli. When I smell this, I am hit with an overdose of spices and smoky wood with a hint of sparkling citrus. And this is on paper. I'm sure most of you guys already know citruses are much more apparent on paper than they are on your skin. So if I don't really get it here, I don't really get it on my skin, and I don't. On my skin, this is so spicy. A lot of black pepper, a lot of woods. There is a tiny bit of freshness. I think the cardamom does play a role there. I'm getting a little bit of cardamom. Actually, a good amount of cardamom. But those citruses, I don't see them. They're not really here. They're more of a texture than the scent of orange or lemon. At least to me, they're just kind of blending in. They're just swallowed up in these spices. A little bit of warmth on my skin. From what I remember, it does dry pretty warm, a little ambery, but not all that sweet. And it's pretty edgy. It stays kind of edgy all the way through. Wonder Dream. It's quite a name. I think it kind of leads you to believe it's going to be a very maybe light and soft fragrance. It's not. It's very different, though. I can say I haven't really smelled anything that smells quite like Wonder Dream. So this is not a scent that I'm wearing right now. This is not a summertime personality, even with all the citruses. I'm saving this for when it cools down a bit. This is not an 80-degree plus, 80-degree Fahrenheit plus day for me. And that's what we're dealing with right now, or higher. In fact, next week we're looking at disgustingly high temperatures. But I'm going to wait till the fall, or at least the late summer, to really pull this out. So I did want to give you an introduction to it. It is once again available for pre-sale. Again, I'm not getting any kickbacks or anything like that. So there is a link down below, and there's a link down below to all the fragrances we've talked about. If you came in late, of course, you can always scroll back or wait until we're done here and go watch the replay. Or if you just don't really have the time or the patience, you can just go down to the description and see all the fragrances and check them out yourself. So I'm going to take a few minutes here and, answer some more questions and just hang out with you guys. So that is our 8 fragrances. I consider them affordable niche. And I think they're all special. They're all worth checking out. And they just need a little bit more talk. That's what I think. Let's see here. Current signature scent. I don't have a signature scent. I wear something different every single day. And I strive to do that because I have so many fragrances and I'm constantly getting more. So, yeah, I try to touch as much as I can every single year. That means new scent every day. In the summertime, that means 2 to 3 different fragrances per day. I rarely repeat. Rarely. If I'm trying to think of what I have repeated lately. I can check actually on parfumo.net, favorite websites for tracking. And the video I'll be putting out on Sunday features Parfumo once again. And I think it's a great video. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see here. What have I worn? Okay, so I was wearing a whole lot of Voyage d'Hermès Parfum the past couple days. Because it's brand new to my collection. I'm getting to know it. Also, while I was traveling last weekend, I was wearing a lot of Mephisto Gentiluomo from Casa Marati. I think I wore it like 4 times while I was traveling. I only have a decant of it. I'm obsessed with that stuff. I've been actually obsessed with it for years now. And I want to get a bottle. That stuff is so beautiful. I've always been a fan. Okay, questions are continuing to come in. Let's see. Do I prefer Noir Extreme or Noir Extreme Parfum? I used to own Noir Extreme. I really enjoyed it. I wore it a lot. I've only smelled Noir Extreme Parfum on paper only recently, and I did enjoy it, but it just reminded me of the original, but I haven't worn it, so I can't properly answer that. Would I create a new Instagram? I'm still not sure. Good to see you, Cam. I'm not sure yet. It's kind of disheartening to think about starting over because it was sizable. There was a lot going on there. So I don't want to. If I can get my old one back, that will be the priority. If not, I might just say goodbye to Instagram. We'll see. Second Soul. I mean, my Second Soul, I guess, could be deemed my default kind of like, I don't know, soul scent. That's the best way I can put it. It was created to be me in a bottle. So yes, you could say it. Functionally, I'm not wearing it all the time because again, I change it up, but I love it. It's a 20 out of 10 for me because I made it to be that. I made it. I collaborated to make it the way I wanted it to be. So it is my perfect fragrance, if you're asking me, but I still change it up. Cerciage. We've seen more and more flavor houses embracing the use of AI in fragrance creation. Oh boy. What are your thoughts towards AI in the context of fragrance creation? Oh man. That's a great question. This might be a topic for another time, but I haven't put a ton of thought into it. And if I did, then I would have a lot to say, I'm sure. But just on the surface, the way I feel about it is I do not really get behind that. Um, I am a firm believer that art is a gift to humanity. Now, a gift from who, you might ask? It all depends on who you are. Some might say God, some might say the universe. You believe whatever you want to believe. I have my beliefs. But either way, wherever it's coming from, it is not something that we create. It is it's a gift. It's something that we use, and it's filtered through every person. And that is the beauty of it. Every person who takes the time to refine and hone the skill it takes to actually harness an art, that art will come out of them in its own unique way with that person's sensibilities, their interpretations of life, whatever it may be. I don't think that can be replicated with a machine. I don't think art was intended for machines. That's just me. I'm going to stop there because I could keep going. And honestly, you've made me want to dig into this topic a little bit more. But I have general reservations with AI across the board, not just with fragrances. So again, I could go on, but I'll keep it there. What's my thoughts on Ingenious Ginger? I think it is one of the most beautifully uplifting fragrances I've smelled in a while. It affects me viscerally. It makes me happy when I smell it. It's lovely. It is so beautiful. I can't guarantee it's going to blow your mind, but for whatever reason, I love that stuff. Okay. Just looking for more questions here. That's a heavy hitting question, Sir Siage. I appreciate it. That's the kind of questions I like to get. Thoughts on Mancera Cedro Boise? It's a good scent. You know how I feel about blind buys. I wouldn't encourage a blind buy. Even though it's on sale, you still may not love it. And then you just got something you don't love on sale. So I don't know if that's worth it. I would sample it first. It's easy to wear. I think almost anyone could like it, but you want to love it. If you're asking me, you want to love it. Let's see here. I see you have no videos on Nasamato. Yeah, for whatever reason, I just haven't really had Nasamato cross my path a whole lot. I did recently smell their newest fragrance. I honestly cannot remotely remember the name of it right now, but it's the one that has the suggestive inspiration. I found it really pleasant. Way less edgy than the presentation would have you believe. I liked it. I only smelled it on paper. I think I might have a sample of it. I'll have to go back and check. I went to a perfumery here, local to me, and tried it. And it was funny. The guy I was working with, he was like, 50% of people I show this to can't smell it. And I was like, well, I feel honored to be one of the 50 that can. I liked it. I have to try it again, though. I need to put it on skin. Yes, that's the one. Sadonaso. That's the one. You know what, Carlos? I have a decan of this fragrance from my friend Equality Fragrances. I haven't sprayed it yet. I've been kind of waiting until it cools down, but I am curious. So I really have no reason to keep waiting. I need to spray it. I wanted to smell it forever. He was generous enough to send me a decant, so I need to check it out. We'll take a few more questions, and then we will be on our way. Has there ever been one fragrance that you notice people have rarely said they dislike it? There has been many. I'd say more often than not, there are fragrances that no one really says they don't like. And it's rare to see it the other way around, to have a fragrance that most people say they don't like. That is kind of rare because 90+% of fragrances that come out smell good, at least. Even if you don't love it, they don't smell like feces and burning hair. As long as it doesn't smell like that, most people are going to like it. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're digging Tonka Jour. That's a beautiful scent. Josh, I appreciate that very thoughtful question. I've been thinking about it, and I've actually been planning on it. I actually started the steps to start my membership on YouTube, but I just haven't followed through. I need to sit down and finish it. So thank you for the reminder, and I appreciate the support. I'll definitely try to get that going soon, maybe in the next few weeks. Whether one makes 20,000 a year or 2 million a year makes a difference as to how one should approach blind buying fragrances. So we're talking about income, controlling your blind buys. I don't know if I understand what you're saying. I think you're saying if you make more money, then that affects how you can relatively approach blind buys. And that's fine. I mean, when I talk about blind buying fragrances, I don't really talk about it from a financial standpoint. That is inherent. You are possibly spending money on something you don't like, or at least don't love, and most likely don't need. But that's not really the biggest issue, because what happens is that you have it and then it takes up space. These are items. They take up space. You have to put them somewhere unless you plan on reselling it, which can be a hassle in itself. But no matter what you're doing, as a human being, you have a space that you occupy, and you have to keep those items in that space. But forgive me if I am completely misinterpreting your comment, because I feel like, oh, I'm going off the rails here. I don't mean to do that. Let's see here. Okay, maybe one more heavy question. One more just, I mean, it doesn't have to be all that heavy, but something thoughtful, something substantial. Let's see here. But what I do want to say, William, is that I appreciate the thoughtful comment. I like, those are the topics I like to discuss. I don't know anyone that likes Secretions Magnifique. Believe me, Cam, there is something for everyone. There are billions of people on this earth. Everybody likes something. There is a camp of people, I'm pretty sure, who find that pleasant. I don't know who they are. I haven't met them. Might never meet them, but I know they're out there, because there's some weird people into some weird things. I don't put anything past anyone. Amrud is great. I have several of their fragrances. I love many of them. They're unique, they're elegant, but wearable. Okay. I think we might call it there. Yeah, I think we'll call it there. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this live stream. If you were here the whole time, thank you for hanging out, whether it's live or after the fact. And once again, links to all the fragrances will be down in the description. I definitely recommend checking out some of these if they interested you. Yeah, do yourself a favor, enlighten your fragrance journey with some new stuff. It's always good to be smelling just new olfactory things to kind of broaden your horizon. So stay tuned for upcoming videos. I have a video coming on Sunday. Once again, it'll be very fun, very interesting. It was a lot of fun to film, and it was actually a lot of work to edit. So that'll be coming soon. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day/night.